Hey everybody, Hat Creature here. Sorry for the late upload of this review. What happened was I basically didn't know what day it was again. Yesterday I was just having such a great time. Didn't even know it was Wednesday. The whole day went by. I went to watch my friend play UFC 4, and then I was like, huh, what time is it? 1 a.m.? And then I was like, oh, what day is this? It's Thursday. But that's not Wednesday. So I didn't even get to watch it until this Thursday, today. Um, it's a good episode. This is episode 6. I've been seeing that there are 7 episodes. So that means there's only one episode left. And I'd just like to go out and say right now that this show is a definite failure. When it comes to the book of Boba Fett, this show is 100% without a doubt a failure when it comes to Boba Fett. The whole show is just a damn failure. I don't know whose fault it is. I could say Disney, but that's very broad. Because Temuera Morrison, he himself knows that there's problems with the show. He tried to fix them. The higher ups said no. So there are people who are willingly making the show worse. And you can tell that they're willingly making this show worse because of what you see on screen. The Mandalorian. And that's the problem with the show. One of them. Episode 5 and 6 is not about Boba Fett at all. 100%. Nothing. Episode 5 and 6 are the best episodes of the show. The best episodes of the entire thing. Every episode with The Mandalorian, best episode. Without a doubt, hands down. No ifs, ands, or buts. Nothing you could say could convince anybody that 5 and 6 aren't the best episodes. Just because they have The Mandalorian. Those episodes are good. They're well written. They have drama. They have action. The cinematography, the coloring, the dialogue, the pacing, the music, everything is intentionally well done in comparison to the rest of the show. The tone is 100% different. And that's because the Mandalorian is in it. So whenever the Mandalorian shows up, the show suddenly becomes good. That's a problem. But let's talk about what actually happened in this episode. So the whole point of the Boba Fett show is about Boba Fett. Well, Boba Fett is in this episode for 3 seconds. The camera turns to him and then turns away, and he's not in the show anymore. Episode 6, one episode left. So what Boba Fett's trying to do is to defend his town from the Syndicate, the Pikes. They're a gang. Well, they're not actually a gang anymore. They're much bigger than that. They're a syndicate. I believe you actually heard about the Syndicate in previous Star Wars shows. I don't remember, but I think Darth Maul was part of the Syndicate at one point. He's dead now, but I think that was his doing. Like I think that's where the Syndicate started, but I could be wrong. But that was back in the past. But so it's a huge organization, and they're moving into Mos Vespa. They're trying to take over. Boba Fett, the crime lord daimyo, has to defend his town. And so what he's been doing is trying to gather forces. He has enforcers, the cybernetic punk biker gang, the kids, cute people. He has his Wookiee friend who tried to assassinate him, and then he was like, "Hey, you want a job?" And yeah, the Wookiee got his ass handed to him. They beat him. They defended Boba Fett and they kicked his ass. They won. And then later they offered him a job. So they have the punks, they have the Wookiee, they have the Mandalorian, and that's basically it. Those are his enforcers. So he needs muscle. He needs foot soldiers to defend his town. That's what he's been doing when he's not on screen. Congratulations. So what else goes on? Well, episode 5 and 6 is about the Mandalorian. So episode 5 and 6 of Boba Fett is basically episode 1 and 2 of Mandalorian season 3. And that's wrong. And I'll tell you why it's wrong is because it's not right. It's not right to have this in Boba Fett. Because you have to, as a writer, you have to understand your character and you have to understand your audience. So you make a show about the legendary bounty hunter Boba Fett, son of Jango Fett. Everyone who watched the original Star Wars films, a whole bunch of them loved Boba Fett, even though he was only on screen for a total of 6 minutes. And he may have spoken like 2 sentences. Maybe. Super popular character. He had comic books about him. A very popular character. So when people wanted to watch The Mandalorian, maybe those people didn't watch it because it wasn't Boba Fett, and they felt that it should have been. Maybe they didn't watch it. So when those fans finally heard that Boba Fett himself is getting his own show, they're the ones watching this. It's possible that they didn't watch Mandalorian because that's not who they wanted. So there's a possibility that a huge part of the fan base for Boba Fett hasn't seen Mandalorian, and you dedicate 2 episodes to an entirely different character. And not just one character. A multitude of characters who aren't even in the show, and they appear for the very first time. You bring out Luke Skywalker as if it's no big deal. You bring out Ahsoka Tano as if it's no big deal, and everybody's supposed to know who she is. You bring out a little baby Yoda and a Mandalorian, and then you bring in other characters, and you don't even the writers don't even take into consideration that this could be for the first time that viewers have seen these characters, because it's Boba Fett, not Mandalorian. These are Mandalorian characters, not Boba Fett. Luke is a Boba Fett character, but it's no big deal. And it's just a disaster. It's a damn embarrassment on these writers for doing so well with The Mandalorian and trashing Boba Fett like this. Totally disrespecting how you would write a story for people who have never seen these characters, for people who haven't seen them in years, not even introducing them, not making them flow with the story of Boba Fett, because this isn't Boba Fett's show anymore. It's The Mandalorian show. And that's how bad the show is, because they don't even care about Boba Fett anymore. There's 1 episode left. 1 episode left. And that episode, the end of the show, is supposed to do many things. The last episode of this show has to solve the soldiers, because Boba Fett still needs soldiers, right? The last episode has to hopefully end the feud with the Syndicate on Mos Vespa. And we don't even know who's behind it. The last episode, we don't even know who the bad guy is. The very last episode of the entire show, not the season, maybe just the show. We don't even know who the bad guy is. We don't have a game plan. We don't know how they're going to take him down. We don't know what they're going to do. We don't even know if they have a single chance of doing whatever it is they even want to do. What could they do? They could have a handful of people surround the city and fight back against the Pikes, but what good's that's going to do? Oh, they have the Mandalorian on their side, plot armor. They're supposed to win. They're 500 enemies, like 12 heroes. That's more than enough, because they're supposed to win. No. They have to do all that in 1 episode, because they wasted 2 episodes about characters who had nothing to do with it. And it's disgusting. But now that that's over, I'm going to talk in some positives this time. Now that we know that Boba Fett's a failure, got 9 minutes in, we're going to talk about what actually happened this episode. So if you have seen The Mandalorian, then you'll love these episodes. I was crying most of the time. If you haven't seen The Mandalorian, well, spoilers. So in the last episode and this episode, it's basically the Mandalorian tying up loose ends before his third season. His little baby Yoda friend, we still don't know the name of the species. His name is Grogu. So he made something of Beskar armor, this amazing armor that can repel lightsabers. Took that material and made it into a piece of armor for his little friend Grogu up on the screen. Yeah. Grogu is in the hands of Luke Skywalker. He is training to become a Jedi because he is Force sensitive. Mando loves him. He loves him dearly, but he can't say it. He can't say it. He's just like that. He wears that mask not just because, it's the rule of the Mandalorian, which he doesn't really follow. He wears it because that's who he is. He wears a mask, literally and metaphorically. It's hard for him to express himself, but he loves him, and he can't say. He won't admit it. But he goes to the planet to give the armor to Grogu because he loves him. But he can't. And he knows that. He eventually, accepts that he needs to let Grogu go. In order for Grogu to become a Jedi, not someone who can use the Force better or perfectly, specifically to become a Jedi, they can have no attachments. Gray Jedi and the Sith can, but not Jedi. They're not allowed to have attachments. So he accepts that if he gives this armor to Grogu himself, if he walks up to him, Grogu won't be able to become a Jedi. Because Grogu loves him too. And if he sees him, it'll be difficult, if outright impossible, for him to let Mando go. So he gives the armor to the other Jedi. I'm sorry. He gives the armor to Ahsoka Tano, who is not a Jedi, and then she gives it to Luke. And then Luke makes a choice for Grogu. Grogu can either, continue his training to become a Jedi, or he can accept the armor from Mando and forsake the goals and the way of the Jedi and go with Mando, because he would have no place in Luke's school for Jedi. That's his choice. If he chooses the armor, he's accepting attachment. It's symbolism. He has to let the armor go if he wants to further himself in the ways of the Jedi. So, and that's actually where the episode ends. It ends with him knowing he has to make a choice, but we don't see what that choice is. Probably, and I better fucking hope that it's in The Mandalorian Season 3 and not the last episode of Boba Fett, because that's just disgusting. Give us a cliffhanger. Give us a reason to watch Mandalorian, even though we already had two. There is a surprise character in this episode that I'm not going to talk about. For those of you who do watch this show, for whatever reason, whether you listen to my review and watch the show anyway, or you watch the show and then look at my review, I don't know. Everybody has their own reasons, but there is a surprise character, and it blew me away. I was shocked. Gasp. It was amazing to see the surprise character. I mean, this is a spoiler review, so I guess I'll just say it. If you watch the Clone Wars, the amazing, beautiful, legendary, devilish bounty hunter, better than Boba Fett, Cad Bane, makes his first live-action appearance in the Star Wars franchise. He shows up, and he is beautiful. The colors of his costume are a bit off, but that's okay, because this is, future Cad Bane, not Clone Wars Cad Bane. He was younger, styles and tastes change over time, so that's why he's wearing all black, and I think his hat is a bit too small. He does have a fedora. I think that's what it's called. He does have one, but it's a bit too small for my liking. But then again, it's all fresh and new, so maybe that's why it feels small. Because it hasn't been broken in. You can get this cup on my store, by the way. Link down below. Fuck yeah. What was it? So Cad Bane is in the show, and I was really happy. And it's horrible that I'm so happy to see Cad Bane over Boba Fett. I like Cad Bane more than Boba Fett. Not just because I know him from Clone Wars, because Boba Fett's in Clone Wars too, but because Cad Bane, it just the actor played him so well. The guy who plays Cad Bane should have been Boba Fett, and I don't mean like the actor should have played Boba Fett. I'm saying that the way he plays him, the whole feeling, the whole appearance, the essence of Cad Bane should be in Boba Fett, but it's not. And Temuera Morrison does his best. He does his very best with what he's allowed to do. He tries. And he does a good job for the most part, but everybody gets in the way and ruins his character. But they don't do that for Cad Bane. They don't do that for Mandalorian. They don't do that for Fennec. They only do that for Boba Fett. And I'm thinking that they just wanted to do this. And that's just awful. That they treat everybody, all the other characters, the way they should be treated. But Boba Fett, in his own show. I think it's wrong to think so, but the way you'd see it, it kind of just looks like they were intentionally trying to ruin Boba Fett's character because he was the most popular. And that's just Disney. That's just something Disney would do. That's just something these people in the entertainment and media industry would do. They do it all the time. They tear people down to bring others up. It's, what was that thing? There was a Family Guy episode with Meg. For some reason, everybody picks on Meg in Family Guy. There's an episode where Meg goes to school, and all of a sudden, this extremely, this character who is, meant to be ugly, is following Meg around. And Meg around is like, why are you following me? Why are you so close to me? And the character who's supposed to be ugly says, they hired me to walk around next to you so that you would look better. And that's basically what's happening with Boba Fett. You can tell that everyone is better because Boba's so bad. Fuck Disney. These horrible people doing this to legendary characters. Horrible. And this isn't the first time they did it. They did it to Han Solo. They did it to Luke Skywalker. I don't know if they did it to Leia. She was barely in the movies. But... And the actress died. So maybe they just didn't get a chance. I don't know. But that's what they've been doing in Star Wars to legacy characters. Popular legacy characters. Ruining the old ones to prop up the new ones. And I think Boba Fett's just another victim of that. Anyway, there's one episode left, and it's probably going to be complete garbage. This whole thing was a waste of money on their part. I still like the show. It's just horribly done. It's just horribly made. Really excited for Mandalorian Season 3. Don't know when that's coming out. But I've been having a great time reviewing this shitfire that I'm probably going to review The Mandalorian as well. Because I just love Star Wars so much. I would like to review more things. But I don't know, man. I got to work on myself. I've been noticing that my uploads are really bad but I still haven't been able to keep my focus on something in order to really invest in it. The only thing I've been able to find that I can invest in is this. And those gameplay videos. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you have anything to say, please put it down below. Sorry for the late upload. I was having fun and I forgot what day it was. But regardless, thank you. And as always, have a great day.